can be able to come up with a regulation system where we can account for every Okada rider. We will know who they are, we can manage them. You know, so just so that we will know who they are, and when anything happens, in fact, the solution that some of them are bringing, they can actually disenable those Okadas, you know, remotely. That's where we're planning to get to. But it's also something that we need to think through very well and be sure that nobody is disenfranchised. You know, as much as possible, give everybody opportunity to play and to play well. I'm hoping that once we do all of this, right, the solutions around our traffic will be reduced significantly. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that clip is of the governor, you know, having a say on Okada riders prior to him actually being elected into office. Okay, so is this the regulation, you know, that he promised Nigerians in your own view?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, you cannot regulate what you do not have power over.
Okay.
And I think that I stand by what I've been saying since this news came out, that the governor of Lagos State has taken the right decision, and I will still support that decision. I think that we need to, we all as Nigerians, we forget too quickly. We just assume that governance is, when you want accountability and you want good governance, you have a price to pay. Mm-hmm. The issue of banning Okada didn't start with Sanwo Olu. Fashola did it, and it worked. Unfortunately, Ambode came on board and threw the doors and windows open, and you know, everybody jumped into it. Now, if you talk about regulation, I think the is it Okada or whatever they call those ones.
All right.
Yes, there should have been a litmus test towards organizing them. Mm-hmm. But they too joined the regular ones. Mm-hmm. Because you go to most bus stops, you see them blocking the road and all of that, and then they stopped using their apps. A lot of them switch off their apps. They prefer to go offline. So it's not. Some of us will say, yes, government is wrong, government is wrong, government is bad. But we, the people, need to understand that we are the ones that have to make some sacrifice for things to go and work well.
Yeah, I think I agree with Prince to an extent. But before then, I have to sincerely, once again, appreciate your chairman for allowing us to come on board, mm-hmm. which means our views are being noted. Mm-hmm. We have been saying it, we said it last week when we were here, we talked about this. And in other some areas, we have also talked about this Okada. I think one of the best decisions this present government have taken is this latest one. If they had not taken this action now, mm-hmm. I want to believe in the next couple of years, Lagos will bomb, security-wise. Because we have said it, the influx of foreigners, these small boys, all over Lagos, for the past 5 years, for the past 2 years, 3 years, we have been talking about it. Mm-hmm. But then, I think we need to appreciate what the government has done. But at the same time, you cannot gain without pains. Mm. Last Tuesday, I talked about palliative measures. Before you restrict them completely or you ban them completely, there would have been palliative measures. Even this morning, on the other platform, the Commissioner for Information was called in, and he made the same video was played, the statement made by the present governor during his campaign rally mm-hmm. was played on. And we want to ask ourselves, the commissioner said about 65 buses have been rolled out, but I have not seen any. We talked about this Keke Napep. The owners borrowed money, and each Keke is going for about 1.2 million. We say that, I mean, time would have been given to them. But having said that, I think government took a right decision, because I listened to both the governor and I said it was a collective decision by the security chiefs in Lagos. Okay. Which means they've seen so many things coming. Okay. I think what we are saying, what we are crying, let there be palliative measures. Okay. And again, Okada should be completely rolled out. but Keke should be restricted some areas.
Okay. All right, Mr. Zikama, what's your view?
Well, my problem with the ban is that the ban is too blanket. You just cannot ban Okadas in so many local governments. Okada poses a risk. It can be dangerous. There are accidents and people die. But those are mostly in major roads. Within the neighborhoods, Okada plays a very vital role, and the risk of accidents are very low in those
streets,
inner streets.
Roads, yes.
So they should have been allowed to operate in inner streets. And people buy things from the market. They need to transport them home. They need.
But they're working in certain.
In some local governments, they were bound outright.
No, sir. It is not.
No,
From
what I read, I don't know what you read. I'm speaking for myself. Okay, and in some, but the thing is that Okada needs, if it's for security reasons, Okada needed to be regulated. Maybe have some kind of license. Wear them around themselves and their necks, train them, because they can be reckless. Some of them don't even know street traffic rules at all. But then that's for the government to do, not for the people, just to leave people suffering like that. And if there are many foreigners coming in, it's a problem with the immigration. Let the immigration do their job.
Okay, you're talking immigration. Do you have control over them?
Yeah,
Our borders are so porous.
In the final analysis, the common man is suffering. So the question is, how do you handle this problem and do not leave the common man in such a mess? In pains, that's the word, okay? So you need to strike that delicate balance. Nigeria is what it is and will remain what it is. So if the immigration is not doing their job, the police cannot do their job, the traffic enforcement officers cannot do their job, it's not the fault of the common man.
Okay.
So the government should deal with some of these issues and not just afflict pains on the common man.
Sorry. When you see, we need to be sincere with ourselves in this country. Each time government takes up a decision to implement a policy, the first outcry is the common man. But you forget that this same common man has always been the one who suffers most. I don't know which of you have gone to Ibobi recently. You will cry. You will be shocked at what Okada has done to people in Ibobi. Last year, a friend of mine, a lady, she lost her fiancé. They just had an engagement a week after, and the Okada took the man and went and hit a moving truck, and the guy died there. So, you see, each time we keep saying the common man, the common man, the common man. For me, I think that if this system, we're looking for a system. I believe in a system that works. And I believe that for a system to work, the people must make sacrifice. And as the people are making the sacrifice, the government must give an account of the state worship. That is where I stand.
What I was trying to say is this. On Tuesday when we were here, I did say it's very shameful that in the 21st century we are still using Okada and Keke as means of transportation.
Okay.
Very, very bad. Then I quite agree with Prince, but to some extent, Okada should be restricted into streets. Then Keke Napep should be banned from plying the major highways and bridges. Otherwise, I did say my son was in India sometime. He said these Keke Napep are used for by the farmers to carry their produce from the farm to the. But unfortunately, it has become the order of the day everywhere in the state. So it is unfortunate. But then I've seen some Okada flying major road, even this man has will come.
Let me just give us
The thing is this, that there will always be accidents. Planes crash. Even the judiciary system, some people get entangled in the imperfection of the judiciary system.
But we need to control that to the barest minimum
is
as
how
much
do
as
you
possible.
handle this problem? Because if you ban Okada outrightly, you have people not having access to their homes. The taxi system in Lagos is not as developed. The bus system is not as developed. So that void, what fills it? Okada fills it. People need to get home. People need to have jobs. So you're talking about crime. Banning Okada will increase the crime rate, not help it. So the thing is that to limit it in some areas, ban it in some areas where they are obviously dangerous.
So other than an outright ban, what you're saying is it should be more like restrictions.
Let me quote from one of the government press release. It says, they are not taken away from the inner streets, but from the major highways and the grade B roads. The law has been there and was implemented by Fashola's administration.
Okay.
So we need to understand
But these Okada people were used to win election in this state.
This goes
So unfortunately, they use them to win election, and today they are. We are not saying that we are supporting Okada. No, Okada is a means of transportation, especially for the common man.
Okay.
This goes beyond the Fashola restriction. It goes far beyond it, because the Fashola restrictions, Lagosians got used to it, and it operated very effectively until Ambode came and kind of let loose on it. So if you're going back to the Fashola restrictions, Lagosians are fine with it. But this went beyond
this is like an advance on that. All right, viewers are also reacting to the topic. Abiodun Shopiton says, you don't solve a problem by creating another one. The government should register the riders and make them pay a weekly levy and free them from the agberos. They pay a whole lot anyways. Yes.
They pay through their nose.
Yes, they pay anyway. All right, this other one says, as cloudy as Lagos, tricycle and Okada are banned. This is, I think what you meant was as crowded as Lagos is. Tricycle and Okada are banned. This is the beginning of Nigeria and Lagos downfall. No work for graduates and undergraduates. Thief go plenty for Nigeria now. All right, this other one says, good day, the buzz. My name is Okwara from Iju. The Lagos State government, please stop calling the line, I'm begging, please. The Lagos State government better regulate rather than ban Okada. I am directly affected by this ban. I was with OPay, but I am now with Okada. What do you want me to do to earn a living? Okada and Max Okada are well-trained riders. If you applaud the government for this action, please give me another job to do. All right, that brings to the fore another angle to all this, which is the issue of loss of jobs, and all of that. Samson from Ilorin is contributing, and he says, I think the Lagos State government making this move is tactically trying to depopulate Lagos, because this will force some people to leave. Patience, good morning. Your laugh is a tonic. I'm happy for you.
Patience, let me quickly add this. I would say that, yes, I'm happy the Okadas have been banned, but I think that government should go back to the agreement they have with OPay, Max Okada, whatever.
Well, the government has come out to say they didn't have that kind of agreement with them. I don't know what side of the story is true.
The point is this, people speaking from two sides of the mouth. Remember, this said last Tuesday that they used these Okada people. Fashola came and they promised them, gave them helmets, that he was not going to ban them. Unfortunately, later in one election, he banned them. And this was a few weeks ago. The same government said they were not considering banning them. They were discussing with them, with the stakeholders and things like that. 3 days after, this law came out. So it is falsehood.
Okay. All right. Update still on the hashtag Okada ban. 20 suspects have been so far arrested by men of the Lagos State Police in connection with the clash between Okada riders and the policemen in Ijora yesterday. A statement by Bala Elkana, who is spokesperson of the State Police Command, says the police received a distress call that some hoodlums armed with cutlasses suspected to be Okada riders and thugs blocked some major roads around Ijora, Oloye, Amusu, Ijora, 7-Up, Ijora, Underbridge, Sifa Junction, and Gaskia Gangare area, all within the Ijora Badia division. He added that the 20 suspects will be charged to court very soon. Now, another issue arising from all this is, of course, Lagosians and their exploitations. Yesterday, bus owners hiked their bus fares, and this is a huge inconvenience for Lagosians, because imagine if you went out, you've calculated how much you normally spend on transportation every day, and then you went out and then you're not able to actually get a bus, not because it's not there, but because the fare had drastically gone up, just because there are no Okadas on the road, not because the routes became longer or there was fuel shortage or whatever.